Hello everybody, welcome in to the dojo today. Today we'll be coaching Carlmcg. What's up, Carl?
Hi there.
We'll be doing some Great League remix, and Carl has asked me to specifically look for plays that he could make that he's not making to try to win games. So kind of looking for win conditions and plays or small optimizations to help win more games. So we'll be looking specifically for stuff like that. We'll be continuing to do our coaching in the, as we call it, inadequate style, where I will mute and deafen him during the games, and then afterwards we'll have a little recap and go over kind of key points from each game after it happens, and try to kind of build on that through the couple sets we'll probably get in today. And if you're ready to start playing, Carl, let's go for it.
Sure, I'll just catch this meditite.
Oh yeah, you got to catch the meditites. I'm not going to stop that.
So one of the things I was thinking about was if we see a Scrafty in the opening and they switch in a Basti, potentially they've got their own Medi in the back.
Yeah, we could go fully on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that idea. This is a decent lead for us because we're a Charm Ninetales. Both are 3-turn moves, so there's not much to sync up here. We're running Dazzling Gleam to try to surprise fighters and get big moves at the end of games. Neither move's lethal here, but I still like the decision to shield because they're highly likely to throw a Shadow Ball here. We'll see if they want to stay in. 2, 3... Okay, throws here after 3. Try to see if we can get a shield from our opponent, because we definitely could be at a Psyshock now. I like that bluff. It does pressure the opponent into shielding. 4, 5 there to move. We get another charm through. Probably just shield again and farm. Oop, no shield? Okay. The jelly doesn't really give away if they'll have something that's strong as a charmer in the back, so saving the shield makes sense as well. It won't KO us. We come out of it with a move loaded. Their own Charm Ninetales. So switch was pretty important here. We'd keep our Medi away from that Ninetales, and we have a Steel type for it. If they swap to their Water type, we probably, yep, there we go. Maybe we want to swap out there a little quicker, but he was clicking near it. He definitely had the right idea. Just missed the button the first time. That happens. What's up, JJan? No, not double charm coaching. There's only one charmer on this team. What's up, Coach Interview? Although I'd coach double charm if somebody wanted to play it. Like I don't choose these teams for people. People come and ask for feedback on their teams and try to figure out something for the meta. And this is something that Carl and I and a couple others in the Discord kind of worked out last night that seemed pretty solid. And then he wanted to run it today. This is a pretty high risk bait. Because I think the Empoleon could finish off the Politoed from a little lower than that if it needed to. Frosty, I don't know how much coaching there is there. Shields the Weather Ball. I think the opponent still gets to another Weather Ball before we get to a Psychic. So he's just throwing the Ice Punch for chip. And that should put it low enough that the Empoleon can get to a Hydro Cannon before it can get to an EQ, which is really the goal here. A little lag. I think we missed a couple counters there. They swap out. We want to swap out as well. Save that move. I like it. Yeah, just throw the Hydro. There's some argument here for trying to farm this down, because if the Politoed has an Earthquake loaded, Medichim's got just enough health that it can't. There's no way it can. Well, we have a move load on the Medi, so I don't think he has back-to-back. He can't have Earthquake. You actually can have Earthquake. Hit the Ice Punch. Ooh. You actually can have Earthquake, Weather Ball back-to-back. Earthquake 65 and Weather Ball's 35. So that's 100 energy. So if he had been at 100, that overtap could have been risky, but seemed pretty clean other than that. Welcome back in, Carl. What did you think of that game?
It was a touch and go. I wasn't really sure what to do with the Jellicents.
Yeah.
I knew I could take a Shadow Ball. And then I was a little bit slow with the switching. when the Polytoad came in.
Yeah, I saw you click for it and like you just missed it a little bit. So you definitely were going for it fast enough, and it looked like you just missed the button, which happens sometimes. I think your play in the lead was really good. My initial thought was to shield that second Shadow Ball because we were going to charm down and still have a lot of health on our A9. But your choice was probably actually a little safer because if they'd had like a Basti or some kind of hard counter in the back, having all that health would have just meant they got to farm us down. So the way you played it out was really clean. I thought that was good. You identified the swap that was a little slow. You also got out when they brought their A9 back in. You got out fast enough that you still had the Medi with a little health and the move loaded, which was really good. A lot of people would probably like panic throw there, but you saved the move, which was really heads up, and it gave you kind of a checkmate situation at the end. So I think you played it pretty well.
I think we avoided the snap. I must admit, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And maybe should have seen it coming.
Yeah, I mean, you can. In that matchup, there aren't a lot of... I mean, they're actually... Because you were in against a Polytoad. So what you can do is every time they throw a charge move, as you're coming back to the screen, like the main screen, right? From the charge move animation back to the main screen, you can be tapping, but just use that time to check the switch clock.
Yeah.
Because you switched it about the same time, so you know that if yours is almost back up, theirs is. And in a matchup, especially where there's a lot of charge moves, you can just, it helps you kind of remember, like, charge move happens, I'm tapping so that I'm not missing any moves, but I'm looking at the switch clock. Just so you can kind of keep track of where it is. Yeah, Badger Snap, it is he's running an XL Medi.
Maybe I could have not killed the Ninetales immediately. Maybe I could have built up to another Hydro.
Yes, that is also an option. The charms are going to add up on you, and I'd be a little worried if you get too low there, because if you get down into Weather Ball range, which is pretty low, but if you try to overfarm too much and you get into Weather Ball range, the Polytoad did have a move stored. So, Empoleon would win CMP there, but it requires you to, even when we brought our Medi back in, you did overtap one. And I did. I was a little concerned there because they can throw the Earthquake and the Weather Ball back to back because Weather Ball's 35 and Earthquake 65. Yes. But they weren't at it, and you got the Ice Punch off there to win. But I think that's a good thought that you could.
Able to punch them down.
Yeah, that was a good thought that you could farm there. But we definitely want to throw that move with the low health Mon. Yes. We don't want to try to punch down in that situation. All right.
Agreed entirely.
Let's queue back up.
Try that.
Yeah. All right. This is a pretty good lead for us. The Night Slashes are resisted for 5. He's at a Night Slash. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This could be an Earthquake. He's got 70 energy. Hopefully it didn't register our move. We can probably just go for a farm down here. Nope, it did register. That's a little unfortunate. He's going to try to undercharge, but I think it still just kills from here. It's a double super effective Weather Ball. Yeah. There's a Steel type, so we swap out to Medi. I like that. They bring a Jellicent in. So we just need to chip this as much as we can. Try to get some shields here so that our A9 can come in and finish this off. And we can't afford to shield. We need to save our shield for our Empoleon. Because that's our win condition here, right? The A9's never going to kill that Reggie. We need the Empoleon to kill it. The Empoleon's going to get one shot by a Focus Blast, so we have to save that shield. What's up, TSZCZ? There we go. We probably want to come back in pretty fast here, honestly. Because this gives them more time to get back to the Reggie, and we don't want them to be able to swap again. But maybe he was thinking about something, and I do encourage people to take that time when the clock's winding down to like think about your play and your moves. And so sometimes it's better to even take that time, even if it would be advantageous to come in fast, just to make sure you're taking care of that. I'm pretty sure if we shield here, we lose, so it's kind of a tough spot, but yep, lets it go. He has identified what he needs to do to try to win. 2, 3, 4. This won't KO us. but a Focus Blast will. So we got to let this go. This is going to hurt, and we may get lock on down from here with the hexes. 2, 3. Oh, they swap. They swap early. That's actually kind of good for us. I'm not sure if 2 Hydras kill. I hope 2 Hydras kills. Does not look like 2 Hydras are going to kill. With the waterfalls, we're obviously shielding this. I think we end up getting hexed down. I think we're going to kill the Reggie, and we're going to have like 1 hex of health left. Yeah, he can throw that there. There's not much punish for it. We are very low, and it's going to take, I think, 2 waterfalls still to kill the Jellicent, maybe 3. And we're just going to die before that happens. It's the same duration move, so if we were both at 1, we would tie there, but they had about 3 left, yeah. All right, Carl, welcome back. What did you think about that one?
I got thrown completely by the Gliscor.
Yeah.
And I threw too late.
Yeah. So, Gliscor, it's wing attack, just like Pelipper, right? EQ, if I don't know if you're familiar with like the Pelipper counts, it's a little more common matchup. But each wing attack is 7 energy, and their big move's at 65, so it's 10 to the big move. So yeah, we can throw there. We get to 6 charms, which is our weather ball. When they're at 3, they're at 9. So if we could have thrown it 1 wing attack before he got there, and could have forced out his shield first. And when he's at 9 wing attacks and he's gonna have shield first, he's probably not baiting because we're gonna charm him down before he gets to 2 moves. The Night Slash does negligible damage because we resist it. What's up, Inadequance? Welcome in, and thank you, Inadequance, for pioneering this style of coaching. That's been a huge blessing to the Pokemon Go community. Appreciate you and what you do, and that's what we're doing here. I don't know, was there anything else you noticed in that match?
Well, so they brought in the Registeel onto the Ninetales, which has no play.
Yeah.
And maybe I could have just let that go. But the Reggie could have come out with some energy. Maybe I could have then got the Medi on the Reggie. As so the Empoleon's on the Jellicent.
Yeah.
I don't think either. I don't think that's a great matchup. I think the team's weak to Ghost a little bit in the back.
Yeah. Well, Jellicent specifically because it's got the water typing, right? Other Ghosts, the Empoleon's going to be able to fight with them a little better. But being down the shield and them having Jellicent in the back was definitely a tough spot.
Yeah.
I kind of like the instinct there that we have 2 Reggie counters. We swap out our A9 tails. Actually, one thing I did note to chat that might have made a little difference, because at the end there it did come down to the Jellicent hexing you down. You knew that your switch timer was still locked in, and so was theirs. And you knew that you needed to kill the Jellicent. And so my initial thought to chat was that you should come back in as soon as possible with the Alolan Ninetales while the Jellicent was still locked in.
Yeah.
To try to get more charms there before it could get back out.
True.
That was the one thing, but it was definitely an awkward position. That was a very hard game to win once we let the Gliscor throw its move first. So I would just aim to, if you like, my general philosophy on that one is like, if you could throw lethal, try to throw lethal, and then make them make the choice.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, let's jump into the next one. Got a party up in here. We're doing some coaching today with Carlmcg in the Inadequance style, as it were. So I'll be calling his games, and then we'll talk about him afterwards. This is a not good matchup for any of our stuff. Yeah, he had to think there. You could tell he was like, had to think there for a second, like, what do I want to do here? This is also not good. This is a pretty counterish comp, but maybe we can create an opportunity here because they are running bubble, doing a little less damage to us than the hexes would. Generating energy a little slower. We get 1 psychic off, and we got a defense drop. That's pretty nice. If we can farm this down with the Ninetales, like the Beat Drill doesn't want to tank Weather Balls. Bubble Ice Beam? Chad, I am the confused. We can't really afford to go down 2 shields here. And we hope they Ice Beam us again? Okay. The Empoleon is a pretty good matchup with the Beedrill as long as we have one shield. Big call there to bait again. If we get this too low and then it kills us, we're kind of in an awkward spot. We'd rather get at least a couple charms off of it. They shield again. Opponent very committed to winning switch here. I like this choice. And then they haven't shown Shadow Ball, so we could probably come in here with Empoleon and farm down. Okay, we come in with the Charmer. That works too. It's a little less energy for us, but it prevents them from getting another Bubble Beam and debuffing us. 2, 3. Okay. It's a Shadow Beedrill. This Weather Ball probably comes pretty close to KOing. They do get one. It was a decent CMP, so they get one Poison Jab in there. That's a little unfortunate, but I don't think that's going to change much. The question is, what do they have in the back? Probably, yeah, there. I like that swap. That was the same thing I was thinking was swap here. We get to this Drill Peck just after they get to Foul Play. That's Pup. Okay. We do this. It's going to be like 1 charm or 2 charms to KO. And then we'll have to see if the Ninetales can also just charm down the Beedrill. It's 1 charm to KO. They do get to throw a move here, though, which is a little unfortunate for us. Oh, they overtap. Even a Power Punch there might have been enough, because these Poison Jabs really hurt. And we get the win. All right, Carl, what do you think of that one?
Okay, Shadow Beedrill is not a nice thing to meet with a Charmer.
True.
So I just wanted to get out of there and play it out.
Yeah.
And the intention was to get shields down because I know I've got a super effective charge move if we meet further down the line.
Yeah. No, and especially once you were able to create shield advantage, right? That they shielded 2 of your baits. Put you in a really good spot. Those are really high risk plays, but it worked out, and I respect that. I was curious why you brought the Charmer back into farm down instead of the Empoleon.
I think I wanted to get to that Weather Ball, the Ice Weather Ball.
Okay.
I wanted to get an energy lead on that because I maybe would have got that otherwise.
Okay. Because my thinking was we'd seen Bubble and he kept Ice Beaming your Medicham, so we were really sure he didn't have Shadow Ball. Which meant that our Empoleon resisted all of its moves. And if we bring the Empoleon in there, we probably get like 5 or 6 Weather Balls worth, 5 or 6 Waterfalls worth of energy. Like we have a move loaded.
Yes.
But I mean, I guess it still worked out. I think that, and they probably would have Bubble Beamed us once in there. So it would have been really close because then at that point we need 2 Drill Pecks to kill the Scrafty. But I like your reasoning there that you want to get to the Weather Ball, and we had them on shields down, and Shadow Beedrill pretty glassy. You ended up charming everything down, so that worked out.
It's kind of and then the switches are quite aggressive. I think that's the way I'm trying to play it, and you could end up being hard countered, but that, like you say, that's the risk.
Yeah, and like especially with our team, because we have these mons that have pretty wide coverage. If we're up shields, making some of those aggressive swaps is usually pretty good, because we can have pretty good coverage against things that even would hard counter us in even shields if we're a couple fast moves ahead and we have a shield that they don't. Not much walls, a Medicham or an Empoleon in that situation.
I think that was the whole design of the Empoleon, wasn't it? That it can hit back at the fighters once shields are down.
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of it.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into the next one.
Okay.
All right, Bastiodon lead. This is not the lead we want to see. We want to get out of there ASAP. We take 1 Smackdown. That's not too bad. We get out. They've got a Pelipper behind it. 4, 5 there to weather ball. Got a little visual lag there, but I don't think there's any way this is a hurricane. And then let's see if he wants to play it the same way. Last time he multiple baited in a situation like this where the psychic would have been lethal. This time he's just going for it. See if we can get shield advantage. Unclear if shield advantage will be enough. It really depends on what our opponent has in the back. Ooh, we get the defense drop. They throw again here. They're pretty close to double. Just based off the number of counters we've thrown. If we can get an ice punch here. Oh, they lag just a little bit. Now that we got the defense drop, the ice punch pretty threatening. They know shield it still. Yeah, they'll be able to farm us down. Well, Empoleon's going to have to do a lot of lifting here. I'd probably come in with the Empoleon myself. Just to get an energy lead on it. Like, it's going to have to beat whatever's in the back. He brings in the Ninetales here. I guess just to absorb the energy. Kind of third shielding the Ninetales. I'd personally rather have a little bit of an energy lead there, especially since we resist all those moves. Let's see what they've got in the back. Superior. So if we had a couple waterfall lead here and we're at a little lower health, I think we're in a better spot. Because the Empoleon really does have to win both of these matchups. Superior is a very, very thick grass type. Frenzy Plant, pretty threatening, even though it's only neutral in this matchup. And they outpace us pretty significantly. Drill Peck and Frenzy Plant cost the same amount, but they're generating 4 energy per turn, and we're generating 2.66. Yep, that Frenzy Plant takes us out. And then they're going to get to another Frenzy Plant here before we can KO, and it's going to take us out here as well. Superior is bulky. Yeah, Badger Snap. Superior is it's bulkier than Meganium. It is one of the bulkiest. We got a fancy thing. Okay. Bring Carl back in. Oh, there we go. Welcome back, Carl. What do you think about that game?
Well, Bastion's not what you want to see, is it?
Totally agree. That is one of our worst case scenario leads, but we do have two answers for it. And you stuck to the plan. And do you think that there was any more room to do a little better than we did?
Pelipper's tricky, isn't it? When you're Medicham.
Yes.
I don't know if we could have ice punched it first and landed the psychic second. But I sort of thought that we had to win that matchup.
Yes, switch was really important there. But once we realized we couldn't win switch, right? Which of our Mons can kill the Bastiodon?
Yeah, the Empoleon.
Right. So which one would it be a little better if we had more energy on?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing as last game, but this game it was a little more important there that we once we're in a situation where we've lost switch, for us to use that little health left on whatever their middle mon was to get a lead on our Empoleon, because we're really trusting our Empoleon to kill both things there.
Yeah.
Because if you bring the Ninetales in there, you charm down. We can't even use the energy against the Basti. So I would like to see us, especially in a situation like that Pelipper, where we resist Weather Ball and we resist Hurricane. I'd like to see us just come in with the Empoleon there and farm down.
Okay.
Because then it gives Empoleon a better chance of sweeping. Because at that point, the best thing the Ninetales is going to do is if we can sack swap it on a Stone Edge at some point, right? Or it's just not going to do anything else for us. So I would when we get in those situations where we want to win switch, but we can't, to try to find how can I create a winning advantage from here. And so the last couple games, to me, it's felt like we could create more of a winning advantage if we put more energy on our Empoleon, because the Ninetales isn't going to be able to do much.
Yeah.
All right.
On board. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so just think about that a little bit. Your plan going into it's good. Sure. You're executing steps 1, 2, and 3 really clean. And then once we kind of hit that snag in the middle of step 3, we tried to win switch, we didn't. like think about, which of my mons is going to win me the game from here, and how do I set it up?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Let's jump to the next one. This is a mirror lead. We'll see if they have Powder Snow or Charms. Charm, okay. 2, 3. So we want to try to sneak through a charm. I like his decision to throw right here. This is right where his opponent would be getting to Psyshock, but we're not running Psyshock. And let's see if they no-shield it. And down it goes. They bring in a Jellicent. We're going to get a lot of charm damage in here. That feels really good. They'll probably throw. This is kind of a weird spot because we don't really like the Jellicent. So there's some consideration here. If we don't throw, it may force them to throw to try to avoid the damage. But I mean, that's a lot of damage. But they have a lot of energy, is the flip side of this. The counters are double resisted, so I think we come in Empoleon here. Yep. Opponent took a second there to process what was coming in, so it's probably the move we want to shield. Yep. And they're pretty close to another one. Like it's one. Oh, switch. There we go, get out. We threw 2 waterfalls there. That might have been a little excessive. But this matchup's so polarizing that we should be okay. We just no shield in this matchup. And try to farm it down. Because we can tank 2 of those. 3, 4. Oh, throws the Ice Punch. Okay. I think I'd rather we save that. It's a Hex Jellicent. So we want to give it as little farm as possible. And like the hexes aren't going to... Ooh, that double shield feels really risky because we know they still have a lot of energy on their Jellicent. 2, 3. Just throw the Ice Punch right away, but we lose CMP. We lose CMP here. I don't think he can hex us down though. But they're now at a Shadow Ball. Oh, we get to another one? Ooh. If they have Bubble Beam, I think we lose. Oh, the Shadow Ball doesn't quite kill. Okay, we're fine. Whew, chat, I was concerned. I was concerned that Shadow Ball was going to kill us, but Carl knew that Empoleon would live. Welcome back in, Carl. What did you think of that one?
And maybe, I don't know, I thought they'd throw the Weather Ball on 6, so I was trying to get the extras in.
Yep, I like that call.
They didn't throw.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did throw,
mm-hmm.
they had less health than me, so maybe I could have charmed them all the way down.
Maybe, but I still like the call to throw there because it's that thing where, like, if we have lethal, we want to try to throw, it makes them make a choice.
Yes.
And because we threw first, they had to make that choice. They opted not to shield, and you did like 2/3 the health of that Jellicent with your Ninetales.
Yes.
Which was huge because our backline doesn't like Jellicent.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking that I'd have to come in with the Empoleon and double shield it.
Mm-hmm.
Waterfall it down.
Yeah.
I thought they had the steel in the back.
Because they're... Well, it makes a little more sense that they have 2 things, like, because they're just like you, right? Their worst case scenario is like a Basti lead. So they have 2 things behind it to try to fight Basti. They have the Jellicent is kind of probably their safe swap, and then they have the hard Basti counter is usually it's a counter user or like a water or ground type. So the Scrafty makes sense there as the harder Basti counter. I was a little concerned when we shielded the Metacham at the end, because we knew they farmed up a lot of energy on the Jellicent, and they were never going to hex down your Empoleon. They're going to have to throw a move to kill it, and you used your last shield on your Metacham when their Scrafty was really low. Probably would have died in like 2 waterfalls. it worked out because the Shadow Ball wasn't enough to kill your Empoleon. And I don't know if you knew that Shadow Ball wouldn't kill you. I was concerned.
I knew it would be, I knew it would be close.
Okay.
I knew it would be close.
So I think it'd be a little safer because we know that they're closer to a move. And we know the Empoleon could probably farm down both before it got to 2 moves. And his Scrafty was throwing right away. I'd feel a little more comfortable if we save that shield for our last Mon to try to win that way, instead of shielding in that situation where, if that other Mon, if the Shadow Ball does kill us, they can probably still then, with the health that's left, like hex down our Medi, because he was at really low health as well.
I was scared at the end of being farmed down.
Yeah, and it was good for you. It was good that you swapped out before you got farmed down. Like that was heads up. You're doing a good job on your swaps.
Possibly I was at an ice punch. Possibly, so I don't know if that was a mistake or not.
No, I don't think you wanted to win the back match. You didn't need to win the back matchup. You just needed the Scrafty to be low enough that you could waterfall it down.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And then I was a little bit slow to switch into the Medicham on the Scrafty as well.
Yes, you threw 2 waterfalls there. And if you come in cleanly there, I think you can win the Scrafty matchup no shielding. You could just pretty much farm it down. Unless they tried to go pup first into foul plays. But they went straight foul plays. But if you come in a little faster there, then you can farm it down and you come out with a move loaded for the jelly. And I think that's definitely a better spot. If you can get that swap a little faster. So. But you played it pretty well from where you were. I don't know that we wanted to shield the Medi there. Because it wasn't going to win us the game, right? The Pokemon that was winning us the game against that Jellicent was going to be our Empoleon. So a little better to save our shields for him. All right.
Yeah. So positive set.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump into the next one. Okay. We got Ninetales into Sunny Castform. That is not a good lead for us. We need to get out of there. Medi's our safe swap because Empoleon's our harder counter here. I like that instant swap out. They swap into their own Medi. Play here is straight Psychic. They get one through. That's how the game's supposed to work. You'll hear people refer to that as sneaking one through. But that's how the game's supposed to work. You're supposed to get those fast moves there. That is working as intended. They deny us, though. We don't get it back. It's a little unfortunate, but we did get a couple counter leads, so we should still outpace them to the next one. No shields and an Ice Punch. Big call. They should get to Ice Punch before we get to Psychic. Probably want to shield this. Otherwise, I think they counter us down. We just tank it? Okay. So they're going to be able to counter us down. Ooh, that was the thing where we got the fast move and the charge move at the same time? I would like to see if that's replicatable at some level. 2, 3, 4. Alright, we definitely want to wait the switch timer down here because we are throwing 1 charm at this and then probably swapping out as soon as they come in. Got it. And then we're clicking on our Empoleon. Nope, he's a little late there. Alright, this is just a Weather Ball. On some level, I like this no shield, but another level, it's really scary because that does chunk us. And the health on this matters a lot. We win CMP here. I think they just got to another Weather Ball. It's 6 Embers to a Weather Ball. Each one being 6 energy. That will kill even if he misses a couple bubbles. I like this shield. We should be able to waterfall down before they can Ember us down or get to another one, but they'll probably switch to whatever they have in the back now. Nope, they're staying in. Okay. What's the back Mon? Reggie. That's not good. Can we get this Hydro off? No! Well, this might be the one situation where Dazzling Gleam was a little better, chat. Dazzling Gleam is kind of the bigger move in neutral matchups. But I don't know if there's anything we're going to do about this. This opponent's team, 2 anti-charmers, ABA against Charm. Or ABA strong against Charm. The Medi in the middle. Weather, I'll talk to him about. Weather Ball is definitely the more efficient move here. So we should be throwing Weather Ball. We don't have Stab on Psyshock. And it's not as efficient base. But I don't think we're winning this anyway. Yeah, we're still 3 away from another one, and that wouldn't have been lethal. Yeah, Reggie is quite the beast, and not very good for our Charmer. All right, Carl, what do you think of that one?
I think I've learned that with a Medi mirror match, I need to go straight Ice Punch.
I'm going to disagree there. Straight Psychic is definitely the play, but you probably need to shield that second Ice Punch so they can't just counter you down. If you shield that second Ice Punch, then they're going to end up spending more shields than you, and you can win switch if you just go straight Psychic, because you can afford to tank one Ice Punch. And then you're going to get to the next Psychic before they get to the third one. The straight Psychic is definitely the way. They just invested their shields in it, and we no shielded the second Ice Punch, and then they knew they could shield and counter down. Whereas if we shield that second one, throw another Psychic, they're either going to die or have to shield there. And if they shield there, then we can shield again, and then we can win the matchup. So
yeah, I think I needed to invest in that.
Yeah, although we were kind of in a bad spot because whether or not we won that matchup, there was nothing for our Ninetales to hit. So even if we win that matchup, I think we're still in a tough spot.
I think I realised when they stayed in with the cast form,
they
had the steel in the back.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and jump in the next one. Ninetales into Ferrothorn. This is not a good matchup for us. Most Ferrothorns run Mirror Shot. We'll know soon. 3, 4, 5. Probably not Mirror Shot, I guess. Because I would expect them to throw it pretty early because it's double super effective, inexpensive, and could lower our attack. So them staying in and going up to quite a larger number indicates that they probably don't have Mirror Shot. So they're probably running Power Whip Thunder. So we can afford to tank one Power Whip, I think. 3, 4. I'd kind of like to see us no shield this one. Yeah. Because I don't think it KOs. And we can get to another Weather Ball now. 1, 2. We win CMP. And we see if they want to shield. I'm not convinced we can charm down, though. But, maybe we can. Because they probably have anti-fighters behind this, so Medi's going to be in a weird spot. We could no-shield this, and then come in with Medi to punch it down. One, 2. All right. We get a little energy lead on Medi. That feels good. See what their counters are for it. 3, 4, 5. That's just a Weather Ball. We don't shield this one. But it is going to put us in an awkward spot where then if they shield, they can potentially farm down. That's one. I'd kind of like to see us try to catch the next one. A little risky, but their lead was strong against 2, 3, 4, 5 swap. Nope, lets it go. Yeah, I don't think we ever shield here, because if we shield here, he can just farm us down. So this is kind of like some of the situation we looked at earlier, but higher risk. Oh man, it's a Jealous in the back. Ferrothorn double water. Makes sense. The Ferrothorn's double weak to fire, so they have 2 water types behind it to try to protect it. Solid ABB composition. Interesting they brought the Pelipper in against the Medi instead of this. That's a weird call on their part from my perspective, but I guess they're looking at our lead and saying we have 2, they thought we had 2 fighters in the back. All right, Carl, what do you think about that one?
That wasn't great.
Yeah.
I was worried about getting flash cannoned. I didn't know what the counts on the Ferrothorn.
Yeah. I mean, I think you made the right call there, shielding it. Generally, switch has been kind of important for us. Their lead was weak to fire, so they probably had some water types in the back. It's just unfortunate that both the water types in the back, I mean, their lead's also weak to fighting. So I guess thinking about those two things, maybe we could have discerned that we were going to be in a bad spot. Both their Batlemons in the back were water types that resist counter. But I don't know what we could have done with that information, because the Medi was just always going to be in a weird spot. And Ninetales, like if we switch in the Medi, the Ninetales is still going to struggle to like farm one of them down and create an advantage. So it's a little bit comped there. I like the decision to save a shield. I was kind of waffling, like, do we try to charm this down or not? I don't know if we could have. But I don't think that would have put us in any better of a spot, having seen what they had in the back. So I like that you let it go and got the farm on Medi. But then there was just nowhere to go. And that's going to happen sometimes. You know, we've talked about this before, like in GBL, it's a blind ladder format. So there's the upper third. Those are matches where your team composition gives you an advantage. There's the middle third where the teams are fairly even, and most of the match is going to come down to the decisions that you and your opponent make. And then there's the bottom third, which is you are at a significant disadvantage based off the compositions as soon as you load into the game. That was definitely a bottom third kind of game. I think that you made pretty good decisions. We were a little fortunate with their movesets that they didn't have mirror shot on the Ferrothorn, would have made it even worse for us. But he farmed up. Could have been like a flash cannon or something. You shield the first one, and then no shield the second one was a really good call, because they were just throwing another power whip and you survived it. But they just outpace us too much and are resisting the damage. So I think that was just a bottom third kind of game. I think you made pretty good decisions, played it pretty well, but there was just not much room to go. The one thing I did think of, so talking about like plays that could win games, but that there are things that maybe we're not seeing, is he threw the first weather ball on 5. So he was going to go straight weather ball. If you were counting, you could try to swap to your Empoleon after 5 more to try to catch the second weather ball. It would not have made a difference having seen this person's line this time, but if their line was such that Medicham had some play against the Backmon, swapping there to catch that weather ball on your Empoleon could have given you a greater chance of winning, because then you're saving your Medicham and the shield, taking a resisted weather ball in a position where your Empoleon can probably farm down from there if they don't swap out. And if they do swap out, maybe it's something that Empoleon can kind of fight with. Medicham can finish off and come out of with energy to kill a Pelipper, would be the line we're trying to go for there. Just something to consider in that kind of situation. If we can save the Medicham at half health and save the shield by trying to catch there, might be worth trying to make that play.
Yeah, okay. And then at the end, I'll let this go, because just in case they're baiting me. Because even if I shield, however I shield, I'm getting shadow ball next time anyway.
Exactly. Yep. Better to no shield that first one. It's not instantly lethal, and so maybe it's a bubble beam, and you're giving them a chance to lose the game, right? I like that call.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's jump in. We got time for probably 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
All right. This is a pretty neutral lead, but I imagine it's in our favor. 4, 6. We want to throw. Yeah, we definitely want to throw here. We have a throw at lethal before they throw, so we definitely want to give this a shot and see what they want to do. And then that gives us information we can use. A little lag there. Our opponent shields, so I feel pretty comfortable shielding here. And that's just a discharge, so that they've probably got back-to-back discharges here. I don't think this one KOs, so I like the call to no shield this one. But hopefully we can get 2 charms before they KO. So 1, 2. I like it. We win switch. We have a little bit of health left, so we might get some residual damage onto something, but it's not enough that we're giving anything a lot of farm. We force Because we won switch, we get to see the Charmer here. Empoleon comes out. I like it. We just want to be ready to switch because they probably want to get out of this, question mark? They probably want maybe get out of this. Our opponent is staying in. Might be double charm. I'm not sure what else. I mean, it could be a fire type also. It's a water. Roserade. 3. A little bit laggy there. Our opponent's farming up quite a bit. They might be running the new... Was it Leaf Storm? I'm surprised they didn't swap to this sooner, chat. I don't know what they were waiting for. They're definitely going to get to 2 moves here. Let's see what they throw first. Weather Ball. Let's hope they don't have Dazzling Gleam. I think if they throw Dazzling Gleam here, we're in big trouble. But if it's just another Weather Ball, we're okay. Leaf Storm. Oh, that's the new Leaf Storm. Okay, but his attack's harshly fallen. 2. We need to kill this thing, though. Kill it, kill it. Yeah. Like that choice. The Wigglytuff's at like 1 waterfall, and I don't think it's at a move yet. If it is at a move, it's only at Ice Beam, and that will not KO us. But you guys, I mean, chat, you just saw the power of that Leaf Storm. That was a Medicham that was mostly full. All right, Carl. What do you think of that one?
Well, I got caught in the bait, didn't I? I knew there was a Leaf Tornado coming.
Yeah.
And I thought with the Voltorb thing, I thought they were going to Hyper Beam me.
No, I like that when they farmed up that much. I like your decision because you threw your move first, so you got to see them shield. I really like your choice there then to shield also, because the worst thing there is that your Mon just gets blown up, and if they don't Hyper Beam you, they throw a discharge like they did. The next move coming is just a discharge. It wasn't lethal. You no shielded it. You farm down. Like I think you played that lead matchup really clean. That they let you farm up and throw the Weather Ball before they threw was really, really good for us. Man, that Leaf Storm really hurt.
Did it?
I had not seen that happen to something yet. That was a lot of damage. But no, like I still like the decision to shield there because it's going to force him to throw both, and then he doesn't have energy to throw something at your Empoleon, which was the biggest concern there, right? We can't let him throw something also the Empoleon. So I like the decision to shield the first one, force him to throw the second one before you can get to an Ice Punch. Your Empoleon then got to a move before they did, so it was a good call. I like that call. And we got time for one more. This is not the situation we want to be in. We're executing the plan. They go to Deoxys. There's some play here. It's not great. Probably Ice Punch in this matchup, but we'll go look it up, chat. We've had this here the whole time. I haven't looked up much. But Deoxys. Psychic 0.4, Ice Punch 0.45. So we want to be Ice Punching here. Oh, we were going to talk about Psyshock versus Weather Ball as well, right? That was another thing in another game. Neutral matchups. In neutral matchups, we want to be a little cleaner with what move we're using. Psychic does have the debuff chance, but it's very low. There you go. Now I switch to Ice Punch. Okay. So maybe go for it. Maybe going for it first is okay. It's not that much less efficient. It's it's 15 more energy for 4 more damage. Yeah, that's kind of bad. Opponent has actual Psycho Boost. One Psychic is more than one Ice Punch, so if you're not going to get to another Ice Punch, this is a good call. But I think if we'd thrown... I mean, we want to win switch here. We shield this, right? Shield this. Try to counter it down. There you go. If we'd thrown an Ice Punch at the beginning, I think we got to like an extra Ice Punch here that he's not going to get to. Because he didn't have it. Ooh. All right. Opponent, please come in first. This is always a tricky situation. You generally don't like coming into your third Mon here, but sometimes you have to. Oh, nice. We win the random coin flip. Opponent went into their third Mon thinking we wouldn't go back into our first Mon. and they left. I think they still had play there, chat. I think they still had play there, but we'll take the top left. I generally encourage people not to top left in those kind of situations, but opponent opted for the top left. Probably a little tilted off that 50-50.
Yeah. I thought that we had to win against the DD to get alignment.
Yes, 100% agree.
Even if it meant going shields down.
Yeah. Nope.
Or a deficit.
That was definitely the right call, because even if you're up 2 shields to 0, that Bassie's still just going to smack down your Ninetales. Like the switch is way more important there. Agreed.
Yeah. And then I didn't press anything, so it also selected for me.
Yeah, it'll come back in whichever the top mon is. So
okay.
For you, that was going to be that one. But your opponent thought you would go into the other one, and it worked out for you.
50-50.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, really kind of a coin flippy situation. Pretty random.
Yes.
I did want to, so in the Medi, Psychic is neutral, and it's slightly more efficient than Ice Punch. Medi DD, Psychic's resisted, Ice Punch is more efficient.
Okay.
So against DD, you want to be throwing Ice Punches there. Also, I think if you go straight Ice Punches there, you get to another Ice Punch, because you threw Psychic, Ice Punch, Psychic. I think if you threw straight Ice Punches, you get 4 of them. And so that matchup's even cleaner for you. It forces that last shield out of them, or they give up switch sooner. So
that's good to know.
In that matchup. And earlier, there was another matchup that my brain, I'm not sure what your Ninetales was up against, but in any neutral matchup for your Ninetales, where like Psyshock and Weather Ball are both neutral or both resisted. Oh, it's Reggie. You threw a Psyshock at a Reggie. Weather Ball is a little better in neutral because you have stab on it, and it's a slightly more efficient move. So if both moves are resisted or both moves are neutral, you want to be throwing the Weather Ball on your Ninetales. Just a little thing there. Try to pick up that little extra. It wouldn't have changed that matchup, but just in general, you want to be aware of that. Like it's those little bits. Games that come down to 1 HP or 5 HP, like those little optimizations can make the difference. Thank you, Carl, for redeeming this dojo session and sharing your battles and coaching with the community.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you once again.
All right. I'd like to thank you for joining us today in the dojo. If you value these coaching VODs, you can give this video a like, you can subscribe to my channel, or you can leave some feedback below in the comments. Also, in the description are links to my Twitter and Twitch. You can follow me there for additional content. I live stream on Twitch Monday through Friday starting at noon Pacific. I would love to have you join us there so we can learn and grow together.